gets in. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win. It's a jam-packed show because we're in the big racing season time here in the Western Cape. We've got Queen's Plate weekend and we've also got the CTS Cape Premier Yearling Sale just around the corner. And this show is going to focus primarily on what's happening and what's coming up for the big sale. It's an international sale. There's some fantastic stock on offer. And with me to take you through the show is none other than Julie Alexander, who's made her way to Cape Town to join us for a change.
Lovely to be here, Grant, and exciting times for racing, I think. You know, you saw what's happened and transpired over this weekend's racing down at Kenilworth Racecourse. It's been fantastic racing. And then also, of course, exciting times with the CTS Cape Premier Yearling Sale coming up. Always exciting, especially with international guys coming along and seeing what they can afford to buy in South Africa.
Well, Tom, you tell us exactly what's in store for us on tonight's show.
Okay, well, we've got an action-packed show in store for you, so let's take a look at what you can look forward to on tonight's show. We start off with Favour Stud, Riverton Stud, Gary Player Stud will all be previewing their yearlings for the sale. We take a look at the stallion Camelot, Rock of Gibraltar and Pour Moi, as well as Pomodora. We chat to Catherine Rolfs regarding CK Racing and Adrian Todd as well, and the grade ones from Kenilworth on Saturday.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.
Well, thanks, Julie. What a jam-packed show we've got in store, and we're going to start off straight away with Favour Stud. Now, Favour Stud are well represented on the Cape Premier Yearling Sale, and they've got a fantastic draft. Let's take you through what they have on offer. Right, first of the Favour Stud draft that we have on the show is lot number 57. Now, he's a colt by Elusive Fort, and we certainly know that Elusive Fort is having plenty of winners at the moment. Certainly a stallion with a great potential of bringing you a group type of horse. This fella's out of a spaceship mare called Levitate, and that Levitate has already produced Elevated, who we know is a very useful individual in his own right. Next up is lot number 60. Also a count of the Favour Stud. He's called Red Wolf. He's by Sire Sensation twice over, and he's out of the Indian Ridge mare Little Grey Wolf. Pedigree jam-packed with black type. He's certainly going to attract plenty of support in the sales ring. Lot 121, this will be taking place in the sales ring on Sunday. Another one from the Favour Stud. She's called Adorable Alley. She's a daughter of Flower Alley, and she's out of that Eliador mare Red Door, from the family of Red Fort as well as Lizzie Arden. A great family, as well as the stayer Red Peril, who's currently trained by Billy Prestige, a filly who's certainly got some paddock value too. Lot 136 is a filly by Quirari. She's called At Your Request. She's from the family of King of Peace, as well as Kiss Me Quick, Mason Dixon, At the Savoy and Deliberation. And she certainly will attract plenty of support in the sales ring. The daughter of Quirari, out of a mare by the Sheikh. We'll move on to lot 169. This is called Some Adventure. She's a daughter of Elusive Forts, out of the Rakeen mare Venturesome. This one from the family of Francia, Earth's Orbit and Dark Journey. Lot 205 is another filly from the Favour stud. She's called She's a Vision. She's by Visionaire. She's out of the Singspiel mare Bint Susu. And this one from the family of Special Fighter and also Susu. And this is obviously Visionaire's progeny, who's also doing very well on the track at present. Lot number 214 is a colt by Quirari called Kanquari. Obviously another one from a strong family, looking at the likes of Colorando, Key Change, as well as Cubanata. And another one who will attract plenty of support. Quirari certainly doing it on the racetracks at present. Lot 221 is another twice over filly from the Favour stud. She's out of the Captain Almare Cavalista, who's certainly related to Catalucci. Plenty of speed in the family. This is certainly a filly that you'd be interested in if you're looking for $1 million sprint candidate.
Well, Favour Stud certainly got a strong draft on this year's sale. Nestled in the heart of the Robertson Valley is Riverton Stud, a stud which has consistently produced a high percentage of earners and winners in the past. They have 2 yearlings on this sale. Let's take a look. We'll start off with lot 134, Senior Don, a colt by Pomodora out of the Captain Elmare Senorita El. He's a half-brother to El Mariachi, winner of the Grade 3 Umkomazi Stakes and the KwaZulu-Natal Million on July Day, and placed 3rd in the Grade 1 Soga Sun Medallion. It's also the family of Senor Santa, Magic Model, Rock Candy, Above the Law and Flight Alert.
El Mariachi, so far trying to close it down, but El Mariachi's got it safe, and El Mariachi has won it.
Lot 203, who's an unnamed bay colt, is by Quirari out of the Up and Atom mare Bell of Choice. The dam of 2 foals to race, both have which been winners. Her 3rd foal is a 2-year-old. This is her 4th foal. It's a half-brother to Smell of Rain, who's already had 4 victories. This is the family of Duchess Darber, Phantom News, Caesar's Warrior, Chief Editor, Persuasive Reason, Cause to Believe, and Isan Darber.
Well, fantastic to have Duncan Barry and the Riverton Stud out at the CTS Cape Premier yearling sale coming up as well. But another farm that certainly is well known throughout the world is the Gary Player Stud Farm. Great to have Gary Player from the Colesberg region bringing 3 very smart yearlings to the Premier yearling sale. Let's take a look at what he has on offer. We'll start off with lot number 65. Now, this is a bay filly. She's by Gimme the Green Light, and she's out of the Dynasty mare Masai Princess. From the family of Masai Warrior, natural selection as well. This filly will attract plenty of selections, with Gimme the Green Light certainly proving himself as a top 5 stallion. Next up will be lot number 155. Beautifully named The Last Supper. This is a colt by Val out of the Manshood mare Supper Club. Supper Club was trained by Lucky Hoodalakis, was a very useful filly, winning 3 times, including the Group 2 Greyville Debutante Stakes. So certainly a stakes winner in her own right, from a family that keeps on improving. You go down the page to the likes of Festive Occasion, Do You Remember, and more recently Pagoda. A colt that will attract plenty of attention, and I'm sure the Hoodalakis stable will be looking right over the stable door. Gary Player also sends in lot 188. Now, this is called Shenandoah River. This is a colt by Duke of Marmalade out of a trippy mare Almost Heaven, from the family of Real Princess and Arabian Winter, and going down that family Victory Moon, as well as William Longsword, recently retired sire out at Claverflay, and a very nice family to be getting involved with. And this by Duke of Marmalade, the son of Danehill.
Up the outside, Just Essential is also running an absolute cracker, and Safe Harbour has taken off between runners. It's Safe Harbour that comes to the front with Just Essential. These two to the wire. Just Essential from Safe Harbour.
Joe's Bond hanging tough. Carry on Alice trying to get to her along the outside. Joe's Bond keeping her at bay. Carry on Alice. Scandal is running on. Joe's Bond keeps rolling though and stays on to win from Carry on Alice.
It's William Longsword with his head in front. He's taken the lead in the Guineas. Gold Standard is wearing him down with each and every stride. The post looming. William Longsword from Gold Standard.
Coolmore stallion Camelot has already had winners across the globe. He's by the outstanding sire, Monju, and out of the King Mambo mare, Taja. He has 4 yearlings representing him on this year's CTS Cape Premier Yearling Sale. But let's take a look at his profile.
For over 10 years, the name Camelot had been reserved by Coolmore, just waiting for the right horse. Making his debut at Premier Irish Track Leopardstown in July, Camelot's lofty reputation preceded him, and he was sent off the $1.30 favourite.
Camelot stretching on is going to land the odds. Camelot wins by 2 lengths.
Pitched straight into Group 1 company next time out, and again starting odds on, he produced a breathtaking performance to take out the Racing Post Trophy, one of Europe's premier juvenile contests.
Still O'Brien waiting on Camelot in behind. What will the favourite find? He's getting there now. Zip Top leads from fencing. Here's Camelot almost on the bridle, coming through on the near side. Oh, he's a good horse, all right. Oh, Camelot at leisure. Oh, a very smart horse indeed. He lives up to the hype and wins the Racing Post Trophy in tremendous style. They race towards the final furlong and a half, running into the dip. Trumpet Major leads the way to Casper Netcher. Fencing is chasing hard. Camelot is running on very strongly now and coming through with French 15 on the far side. Ermeval leads that little group. Camelot coming through with French 15 on the far side. Ermeval. Camelot is just ahead from French 15. Camelot wins. Camelot narrowly to French 15. Ermeval third, far side.
Come the Epsom Derby, Camelot retained his unbeaten record with a superlative performance.
Now Joseph O'Brien gets to work on the favourite Camelot. He calls on the colt for an effort. He's racing to them very quickly, but getting away Astrology. His stablemates 2-3 lengths in front. Now Camelot is now turning on the heat now. He's starting to run at Astrology. On the outside, Camelot ranges up. Camelot takes a narrow lead from the stablemate Astrology and now starts to draw away the first father-son trainer jockey combination to win the Derby. Aiden and Joseph O'Brien.
Next up was the Curragh, where Camelot defied appalling conditions to become the first colt since the Great Nijinsky in 1970 to land the 2,000 guineas Epsom Derby Irish treble.
Inside the final furlong, Camelot on board to see. Testing ground, but Camelot has what it takes as they race up to the line. Camelot does the Derby double, wins it by about a length and a half.
Mongeau's only classic winner at a mile, Camelot is out of a group winner by King Mambo, who in turn is out of a stakes winner by Dane Hill. The 2013 European season saw 3 different Epsom or Irish Derby winning sons of Mongeau, all sire Group 1 winners, headed by the brilliant Arc winner Trev and one of France's leading 2-year-olds, Ecto. A European champion at 2 and a European champion again at 3. Camelot, a true legend of the turf.
A stallion in South Africa with possibly the best credentials amongst all stallions is Rock of Gibraltar. His winning stakes and his percentages are absolutely astronomical. Let's take a look at his racing career and exactly what he's accomplished here on the South African shores.
Rock of Gibraltar, affectionately known as Rocky to his connections, became a racing legend when early in the 2000s he became the first horse ever to set a world record of 7 consecutive Group 1 wins. The first of these 7 wins came on the 7th of October 2001 when Rock of Gibraltar lined up in the Grand Criterium over 1400 metres at Longchamp in France. This was a race for 2-year-olds and Rocky had 4 other runners to contend with. Going into the final bend with 600 metres to go, Rock of Gibraltar was holding his position in 4th at the rail before gliding to an effortless win. 2 weeks later, on the 20th of October, it was time for the Dewhurst Stakes at Newmarket. Once again, it was a race for 2-year-olds over 1400 metres, and this time the field was made up of 8 runners. Taking time to settle and throwing his head around under Mick Kinane early in the race, Rock of Gibraltar just managed to put his head in front on the line in a very close finish with Lancia and Tendolkar. After a well-deserved break, Rock of Gibraltar's next start came in the 2,000 guineas over 1,600 metres on the 4th of May 2002. 22 runners faced the starter in this Grade 1 race for 3-year-olds. Remarkably, the favourite was Hawk Wing at 11-8, with Rock of Gibraltar starting as 4th favourite at 9-1. At the break, the massive field split in 2, with Rock of Gibraltar going to the inside while Hawkwing stayed in the stand-side group. In a thrilling finish, Rock of Gibraltar made it 3 Group 1s from 3 with a fast-finishing Hawkwing in second. With barely enough time to rest, it was off to Ireland for the Irish 2,000 guineas, where Rock of Gibraltar was one of 7 runners. Rock of Gibraltar, under Mick Kinane, was held at the back of the field for much of the race, but when the field hit the 200-metre mark, it was an impressive burst of speed that took him through the narrowest of gaps and win going away.
Rock of Gibraltar cruising up to him, and Della Francesca down the outside, and Rock of Gibraltar sweeps past Century City, not doing an awful lot and not being asked to do. So as he goes to the line, a very easy winner by a length and a half. Rock of Gibraltar completes the double.
The St James's Palace Stakes, run at Ascot on the 18th of June 2002, would become Rock of Gibraltar's 4th straight Grade 1 win. 9 runners lined up at the start, and once again the Rock was towards the back of the field for the early part of the race, but by the time the field swung into the home straight, he had moved up to the middle of the pack. At the 200-metre mark, the race was all over as Rock of Gibraltar moved up to the front and won easily, beating Lancia into second. This win made it 5 Grade 1 wins in a row. Just over 2 months later, on the 31st of July 2002, Rock of Gibraltar would attempt to equal the world record of 6 successive Grade 1 wins. The race was the Sussex Stakes over a mile at Goodwood. In a small field of only 5 runners, Rock of Gibraltar ran his usual race, waiting for the final 100 metres to burst through to another impressive win. Could Rock of Gibraltar make it 7 Grade 1 wins in a row? The answer would come in the Prix de Milan de Longchamp over 1,600 metres on the 8th of September 2002. Another brilliantly timed ride by Mick Kinane, allowing Rock of Gibraltar to write his name into the record books. Rock of Gibraltar contested one more race in his racing career, where he ran second to Dome Driver in the 2002 Breeders' Cup Mile. It was a valiant effort to make it 8 Grade 1 wins in a row, but it was not to be. After 2 sparkling racing seasons, Rock of Gibraltar was voted the 2002 European Horse of the Year. Rock of Gibraltar was foaled in March 1999 in Ireland and is by champion sire Dane Hill out of Offshore Boom. During Rock of Gibraltar's 2 seasons in racing in 2001 and 2002, he was trained by champion trainer Aidan O'Brien at the Ballydor Stables in Ireland. O'Brien also bred him in partnership with his wife Anne-Marie and father-in-law Joe Crowley. For much of his racing career, Rock of Gibraltar ran in the colours of Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson, who was named as a part owner along with Susan Magnier, wife of Coolmore owner John Magnier. Rock of Gibraltar is owned by Coolmore. He has amazing statistics as a stallion too. In South Africa alone, he has produced multiple Group 1 winner Alboran C, winner of 3 Group 1s, namely the Computer Form Sprint, the Alan Robertson and the Cape Flying, as well as Europa Point, winner of 2 Group 1s in the form of the President's Champion Challenge and the Empress Club Stakes. His son, 7th Rock, is a Group 1 producing sire in South Africa, and his daughters, Gibraltar Blue and Ascension Pink, have both won Group 2s. He has a massive 86% winners to runners strike rate.
The 2011 2011 Epsom Derby winner, Poimois, also side the Investic Derby winner last year and has one colt going under the hammer at this year's CTS Cape Premier Yearling Sale. No doubt he'll be attracting a lot of attention. Let's take a look at his profile.
Good Derby winner can sprint and stay 1.5 miles. You're asking, therefore, for a very special type of animal. So said Peter Burrell, then chairman of the National Stud. Poimois, brilliant winner of the 2011 Derby, is that special type of animal. This handsome son of Monsieur showed a small indication of what was to come with a convincing display on his first visit to Longchamp at the back end of his 2-year-old career. However, it was his mesmerising display in the 10-furlong Group 2 Prix Grefful which really made people sit up and take notice. Held up in rear and pulled the straight, Poimois unleashed his now trademark turn of foot to win comfortably.
Poimois moves up to bubble check. Poimois takes the lead and starts to come away in the last little bit. Poimois is going on to win by about a length.
22-time champion trainer Andre Fabre had only one notable omission on his otherwise glittering CV, but in Poimois he was confident that he had the horse to give him that elusive derby. Despite breaking quickly, Poimois was immediately taken back and settled at the rear of the field.
And out the back still Poimois, and must be the best part of 12-15 lengths from the leader.
Coming around Tattenham Corner, he was still plumb last. And then he unleashed that electric turn of foot.
Treasure Beach in front with 100 yards to go. Treasure Beach in front, Carlton House trying hard. Poimois is swooping. Treasure Beach just holding on. Grabbed by Poimois. Poimois got up to win it. Let's wait for it. He's swooping late. He's very wide. He's celebrating before the line. Look at him. Arms extended in the saddle. He's only won it by a half head. It could easily have cost him the race, but he's got there, this exuberant young man. He's got up to beat Treasure Beach. Carlton House is third.
I think the overhead cameras show how top-class horses accelerate. Bear in mind that the other horse in front of him are accelerating as well. And he went past them, didn't he, as though they were standing still. And that overhead camera, yeah, it tells you many, many tales. But when they're used like that, and you want to build up a horse reputation, stick an overhead camera above them and just see how good that horse was on Derby Day.
Sensational goes without saying. But how did the performance measure up on the clock?
The winning time, let's have a look. It is 2 minutes 34.54. Now, if you've been with us for the last 2 days, you see most of the times we've had have been slower than average. This is 0.76 seconds faster than average. That was a very fastly run Derby.
Unfortunately, an overreach sustained in the lead-up to his Arc trial denied the racing public the opportunity of witnessing Poimois' brilliance again. But he now joins two other fine Epsom Derby winners from the Sadler's Wells sire line at Coolmore in Galileo and High Chaparral. Galileo had his own superstars aplenty this season, while High Chaparral is responsible for another in So You Think.
By Monsieur, who gets colts of rare brilliance. His younger sister Kiss made 900,000 for the Magna Coolmore Axis as a yearling, and she looks a hot prospect for 2012.
By Monsieur, from a family replete with classic winning milers, Poimois was bred to win a derby. And win a derby is exactly what he did.
Pomodoro has had a great start to his stallion career with 3 runners to date, being a first, a second and a third. He's well represented at this year's sale. Let's take a look.
Italian up towards the outside. Jefta's just in front. Royal Italian is coming strongly. It's going to be close. Jefta and Royal Italian. Jefta last long enough from Royal Italian.
Chirolla's coming home strongly in the centre, and Chirolla's coming at Tempt the Tiger. Lenz is fighting right back. Here it comes. Tempt the Tiger has won it from in behind that Lenzer. Then Chirolla in behind that.
Lethal Weapon with 200 to go. It's tackled now by Cyber Special. It's Lethal Weapon and Cyber Special to fight it out. Lethal Weapon, Cyber Special coming home on the outside. Lethal Weapon with the hands. Lethal Weapon got there by a head.
New kids on the block, CK Racing, are certainly making an impression on the Highveld racing scene. They've got some wonderful bred individuals coming through their stable doors, and they're going to be very active at the Cape Premier Yearling Sale. Let's find out more from partner Catherine Ralphs.
It's wonderful to have Catherine Ralphs in Cape Town for the Queen's Plate weekend. As you all know, she's head of CK Racing, which is a great opportunity for young people in racing. And Catherine's going to chat to us about CK Racing this morning. Catherine, Ralphs Racing has been going for many years, and you and your father, Lindsay, you share such a great passion for racehorses and the breeding industry.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. My dad was involved for, I mean, it must be about 15, 16 years now. And he got me involved. I fell in love with the game and decided to make it my career, which has been amazing. I think I was an owner for a long time, and it's only recently that I've actually learned how much goes into getting a horse ready for a race, let alone winning a race. So it's been incredible being on the other side. I still love owning horses. You know, I don't think there's a greater feeling than winning a race. And I think my dad feels the same way. He absolutely loves them. You know, it's his absolute passion, and I can't get him away from the stable. He's a very frequent visitor. He loves the race days, and I don't know if we've seen exactly what I would call, you know, the best maybe return from considering the investment we put in, but I think that's about to change. We've got a much better string. We eliminated a lot of horses. We also have changed around, you know, some up-and-coming horses with different trainers, with different jockeys, and I think the turnaround has been pretty good so far. I think there's nothing more but up from here.
And you've got shares in various top stallions as well.
We do. I think Twice Over is my favourite. I rang in the new year at Claverflay Stud, and to spend time with them one-on-one is really amazing. They're magnificent animals, and you know, I think that as an operation at Claverflay Stud is also very, very impressive. We've got mares there as well. We've got 12 mares, and we got to see their beautiful foals. You know, my Gimme the Green Light is stunning. You know, he's a beautiful forward horse, and I think yeah, I think the breeding has been better and better once we figured out, you know, logistics. Like I think only sending really decent mares is profitable. You know, sending horses that haven't done anything doesn't really help you that much. And picking the right stallions, I work a lot with Tessio Power, and John Costa helps me a lot. I think if we had a family in racing, it would be the Costas for sure. Claverflay has opened many doors for us, and I look forward to an exciting future with them.
Well, it's a wonderful stud to be involved with, and of course you've got horses with various top trainers. I think it's 11 or 12 of the top trainers in the country.
Yeah. So I did spend some time in Cape Town with the Snaiths. They took me to the beach to watch some work there. And I must say that was one of my highlights of the holiday. It's really impressive. They're very professional. I do enjoy being in the yard. You know, in Joburg we are with the Aussies and with Johan Janssen van Vuren. We've got one with Joe Somo and Gary Alexander. We also moved some horses to Brett Crawford. We're in the Tractor Syndicate, which is a lot of fun. We've got a horse with Vaughan Marshall still, which is, you know, a good connection for my dad because he did start off there. And yeah, and we've moved some of our weaker horses to weaker centres. So we have new trainers, Jarrett Rugg and Kimberley, and Gavin Smith in PE.
That's wonderful. Now, more importantly, CK Racing was formed in 2016, where Candice Dawson is now your private sort of trainer for CK Racing. And you're absolutely flying.
Well, yes, we are. Yeah, Candice is not a private trainer. We did, you know, that was one of the things that we didn't market well enough. We opened to the public. We've got a lot of other owners, not just my dad. He just helped us get off the ground. You know, we were taxiing down the runway, but we needed the support, you know, to lift off. Candice is a horsewoman. She's an incredible person, and we've got the foundation of a wonderful friendship. It took me a few years to convince her to take her trainer's license on her own, but when she did, you know, we've been very, very successful. I think at one point she was, you know, at a 17% strike rate, and she was one of the best, and you know, stats-wise in the country.
Well, she's certainly got the experience, 16 years of experience, and she's training at Rankersfontein, and you've got about, what, over 50 horses with her?
We've got 60 horses in training. I own about 40 of them. So we do have other owners and great syndicates. You know, we in partnership with Claverflay and a lot of them. And we've got some really fun syndicates, and we've got some Mauritian owners. We've got Vanessa Harrison, we are massive. She has been a massive support to us, and we're massively supportive to her. She has a brilliant horse called Sylvan on Fire that has the heart of a lion. Our biggest venture for 2018 is actually to bring Tammy Dawson, which is Candice's sister, in as our assistant trainer. She arrives this week, so she's from Scotland, so we're very excited about that. She'll be a massive asset to, you know, to our whole team. She's had a lot of experience, about 15 years in the game. She's been assistant to Jeff Woodruff and Mike de Kock for the last 6 years. Or the 6 years before she went to Scotland. So I think she'll add a lot of value. Her and Candice work really well together, and she's also a very, very good work rider. She's very good with her hands.
Well, this is what makes CK Racing so magical. You're a young and enthusiastic bunch. You can bring in the new owners, the youngsters, the new blood into racing, which racing needs. Now, where do you go as far as sales are concerned? We've got the big Cape Premier yearling sale coming up. Are you going to be looking for stock there?
Yeah, we've been looking on some of the farms as well. We'll be avid supporters of CTS. I'm sure it will go off without a hitch. I think that we usually let our trainers choose the horses. I think that's, you know, we don't have an allocated bloodstock agent. I think it's nicer when a trainer wants a horse, you know, and if two trainers want the same horse, you know, you got to work out who, you know, some people are better with different things or where you want it to be.
And it's wonderful because you've got various partnerships with some top owners in the country. One in particular that's really interesting is Green Street Bloodstock, because they're youngsters as well, and that young involvement combined with you ladies as well is just perfect.
Yeah, I think because we've got the same sort of vision on where racing can go. You know, I think we can do so little alone, but together, you know, we can do so much. And Green Streets and I own a horse together that's trained by Adam and Michael Azzi. Her name is Easter Bunny, which I'm sure will be changed very soon. We've also come into partnership with Larry Neistat and Greg Blank, which is very exciting for us. They're wonderful people and have been nothing but supportive. And yeah, Chris and Eric van Niekerk have been amazing to us. They brought us into a horse first and then, you know, reciprocated. It opened a lot of doors, and syndications opened a lot of doors, you know, to use different trainers to, you know, with the etiquette that was needed. And it also made us look at a lot of different horses. We've got a beautiful horse that we have in partnership with Dr. Jill Warner, which I hope will be the next Carry On Alice, which will come out and be trained by Sean Terry. I got to see her yesterday and she is just magnificent. So the partnerships have been really, really fun, and we've got some great partners in Shadow Man in our yard, with the likes of Mark Curry and Grant Knowles, you know, who are fun racing people, David Arbery and Mike Fullard. So, and James and Leandrew.
Catherine, thank you very much for taking the time this morning to chat to the Breeding to Win team. It's been very interesting learning all about CK Racing and of course Ralph's Racing. Well, it was a wonderful morning. I must say I really enjoyed chatting to Catherine Ralphs, learning all about CK Racing and Ralph's Racing and the history behind it all, and really they look to be going places, these young ladies, taking racing to another level, getting the youngsters involved, and I look forward to seeing them racing and doing successfully in the future.
New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
Well, we all know Adrian Todd from his years with Cape Thoroughbred Sales, but just recently Adrian moved on to promoting the protocol export for South Africa, which is a fantastic thing and we all need it. And Adrian is with me this morning to chat to me and let us know how it's all going. With the sale coming up, I'm sure the vendors want to hear that we're making some headway. Adrian, how is it all going? You've been working on it for some months now. Are you making some good headway?
No, we're very happy, Fee. You know, it all actually started a couple of years ago when CTS and BSA held a joint workshop to look at a way forward for the protocol developments. And the outcome of that was a united task team, which really put everybody on the same platform, which is what we needed as a country. And we recently realized that it needed full-time drive and focus. And that led us to form SA Equine Health and Protocols, a non-profit company, that we've put together as the implementation arm of that task team. And that's what I head up. We've brought in the veterinary professionals that have been working on the protocol side as separate to the research side. It's two different things. The research is very vital, that's vaccination and everything pertaining to that that's going to continue forward. But vaccine's not a magic bullet, so the protocol discussions and negotiations we put together in a separate unit. And we're actually making very good progress. I think the biggest thing that we can be proud of to date is the association and the public-private partnership that we've managed to form with our government. At the end of the day, protocols are decided between governments. So we needed to have them on board, and we've now managed to achieve that. So that's an achievement we're very proud of. Our next step is passing the 2018 European Union audit. We're well underway to making sure we do that. We've already had international experts out to do a pre-audit. They'll be coming back to see just where we are, how we've progressed before the actual audit. And if we pass that audit mid this year, we will be back on track for direct exports to Europe, potentially by the end of the year. As far as other countries go, it all takes time. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but we are at a stage now where we are in official government-to-government negotiations with 4 countries. That has never happened before. Both Hong Kong government, South Korean government will be visiting South Africa this year on fact-finding missions and inspections. So we're very comfortable with the progress that we've made. There's still challenges, we accept that, but we know the direction we need to be going in. We're united as a nation going forward. Everybody involved in protocol discussions is now on the same hymn sheet. Everything's working well, and as I said at the beginning, our government's on side.
Well, you really do sound on track. That's fabulous news. And as I said, it's great because we've got the sale coming up, and vendors will obviously be keen to hear that you are really making great progress. And you mentioned to me also there's a new entity that you're forming.
Yes, it's just the implementation arm of the task team that I spoke about earlier. SA Equine Health and Protocols. It's a non-profit organisation that we put together underneath the task team as the implementation arm. And the executive directors of that are Chris van Niekerk, Mike de Kock and myself, and then working hand in hand with the broader task team to get everything going and get it across the line. As I said, you know, I think the reason why we're making progress now is the years of research, and I know many people felt that that was slow, but research is slow. And the years of research have led us to the point we're at now. South Africa has never been in a position before where the science is now solid. The PCR tests have been approved. Our science is now accepted by the world. And on top of that, you know, it's still a marketplace, supply and demand. And the demand for our product is there like it's never been before. So it's a combination of all those things. Everything that happened in the past had to happen in order for us to be at the point we're at now. We've now got solid science, a stronger than ever demand for our product, a united front in South Africa, and a public-private partnership with government that's very effective. These are all the ingredients for us to be able to get this right.
Well, that's great, Adrian. Thank you very much for chatting to us this morning. We've got a great team behind you. I think you're doing a fabulous job. We've obviously got the horses, and that's what we need, your team, to just push us further and further.
Well, a fantastic interview there with Adrian Todd. So positive, and some great news coming through there. And if there's ever a chance of our doors opening, well, it looks like he's knocking them down pretty fervently at the moment.
100% Grant, and I think for South African racing, it will just blow our industry right out the water. I think it's something that we've been waiting for, and I think we've seen it as years have passed, how great our racehorses do overseas. And if we can cut back on those protocols, I think more and more of our top horses will be going and competing against the rest of the world.
We've got a great international contingent coming to the Cape Premier Yearling Sale, and they're going to be fairly optimistic that Adrian's doing the right type of job as well. And certainly it looks to be a very, very promising January sale indeed. But some great racing as well. And what did you make of the Queen's Plate? I know you were pretty busy there.
Sure, it was excellent. And as always, it just keeps getting better. It's an elegant day. You always feel classy, you feel elegant when you come to the Queen's Plate. So it was a fantastic weekend of racing. And not to take away the Saturday meeting or the Friday meeting as well, leading up into the Saturday. I think it's now starting to grow and it will just get better. So full marks to Lomorans.
We did our bit, and we wore blue. And I must say, it was a sea of blue and white on the race course as well. Top marks to Team Lomorans and their organising committee as well. We're going to play out with the highlights of what happened on the Queen's Plate weekend, and we certainly hope you join us next weekend, because we come back to back now with part 2 of the Cape Premier Yearling Sale Breeding to Win episodes.
That's kicked for home. On the chase along the inside, it's Fresnay. Lady in Black is coming up the outside. Deep right, we got Safe Harbour, but it's Oh Susanna. It's the 3-year-old filly that's going on far too well. Oh Susanna wins it from Lady in Black. Bob of the Nose is behind that. Another rush, and Fresnay in a photo for minor money. What a ride by jockey Grant Funniker. They settle for the run to the line in the Lomoran Queen's Plate with just done 400 metres left to go. Captain America says, come and catch me if you can. Legal Eagle is now starting to spread his wings and he's starting to lift. We're into the final 200. Captain America is being given a few cracks. Legal Eagle is on the chase and he's starting to cut him back with each and every stride. It's Captain America, but here comes Legal Eagle. He's coming forward strong into the closing stages. Marinaresco flying on the outside. Legal Eagle claims it close home. Legal Eagle wins it. Copper Force absolutely flew on the inside. Captain America, Marinaresco, those two in a photo for minor money. The Eagle has landed. Heavy weather stuff, but he got there and he's won the Lomoran Queen's Plate for the 3rd year in succession. Anton Marcus really had to make him work for victory this year.
10. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the Main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.